Welcome to the Right Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Williams, best-selling romance author, book coach, and founder of Serenade Publishing. I've been an avid reader ever since I could hold a book, and I've spent a decade immersed in the world of writing, editing, and publishing fiction. I know firsthand what it takes to turn a love of storytelling into a sustainable, soul-aligned author career. Each week, I share real talk about writing fiction, marketing smarter, and staying inspired, along with up-to-date industry insights and the strategies that are working right now. You'll also hear from fellow authors, editors, and industry experts who are out there doing the work and making waves. Here, we put the woo in the work of writing, publishing, and growing your author business. Think of this as your creative business pep talk, packed with heart, hustle, and a little bit of magic. So get cozy and join me. Your writing journey starts now. Hey scribe, Sarah here. Today's episode is such a fun one because we're stepping slightly outside the traditional writing craft conversation and into something just as creative and honestly just as magical. I'm joined by Shara, the brilliant bookish entrepreneur behind Aura and Alchemy, a beautiful, unique perfume brand inspired by stories, characters, and the feeling of being completely lost in a book. And I have to tell you, when I first came across her business, I just thought, this is genius. It's one of those ideas that makes you stop and go, why didn't I think of that? And at the same time, it opens your eyes to just how expansive this industry really is. Because here's the truth. Being part of the book world doesn't have to mean writing a novel. There are so many creative, exciting, and fulfilling ways to build something meaningful around books. And Shara is such a beautiful example of that. In this conversation, we talk about how she built her brand, where the idea came from, and what it really looks like to turn a love of books into a business that connects with readers in a completely different way. So if you've ever felt like you love books deeply, but you're not sure writing is your path, or maybe you just want to explore what else is possible, this episode is going to open up a whole new world for you. Let's dive in. Welcome to the show, Shara. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm so excited to talk to you about your amazing bookish business, Aura and Alchemy. So
Yes.
I would love if you could tell us what made you come up with this amazing idea for a bookish business.
Oh gosh. Well, look, I hadn't after my third baby, I hadn't read anything. I was just so tired, so tired. So I hadn't read anything for, I would say, at least 18 months. And then I just read a book. I forget what it was now. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I forget how much I love reading. I love reading. And like, that's the longest stretch I've ever gone without reading. And then I was like, oh, because it's my last baby. It was probably time to get back to work or think about getting back to work. But I just really didn't know what I was going to do. And then it kind of just snowballed from there. And then I thought, oh, well, I could do a bookstore. But then I was just like, there's so many and there's so many great ones. And I was like, I could do merch. I think I'd be more suited to that. But then I was just like, oh, what merch? What merch do I do that's completely different and still somewhere in the field of cosmetics, because that's my background. And then it was just like a light bulb moment one day. And it was like, I could try perfumes. But then I didn't know if it was a good idea. So I talked to a friend who's an author and I was like, oh, I was thinking about, maybe doing perfumes because I thought it was a lame idea at first. And she was like, oh, that would be so awesome. And then it was just born, born from there.
I love that. It is such a unique merch, like you said.
Yeah,
And I think smell is such an amazing sense and it can just evoke memories.
yeah.
all sorts of
does, yeah.
amazingness. Yeah. So you've got a background in beauty. Did that help, obviously, going through, or was learning perfume completely new to you?
Um, I think have worked with aromatherapy before, so I started out wanting to keep the perfumes 100% completely natural. Um, but that is impossible to do if you like want to take the perfumes to the next level and have as many perfumes as I do. So I did have to introduce, high quality perfume oils, and blending them was a little bit different, but it's still essentially the same as blending your aromatherapy oils because they're still essentially like a scent. So, but instead of doing it, how aromatherapy does, it's for headaches or nausea or whatever. I had to more concentrate on getting it right, like a scent, and blending them correctly, and one scent not overpowering one. So that was a little, a learning curve, but I still had that background to know what sort of scents work and don't work, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was good to have that knowledge and background, but yeah, the learning curve to take it into a perfume rather than something that is for your health or body or mind or whatever was a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about your perfumes. How do you name them and how do you, yeah, I mean, you've got such an interesting story here, so I'm going to let you
Yeah.
explain.
Naming them, I get comments on the names all the time, which is great because I agonize over the names. Some I got help with, like my Romanticy perfume. I was just going to call Romanticy because it was just, I couldn't think of any other name other than Romanticy. And then one of my friends was like, why not Romance Between Realms? And I was like, oh, that's great. So I did get help with that one. And another one, again, I got help with was the cowboy one because it was either Buckle Bunny or I had something else, which I forget now, but they're like, oh, why don't you do the just like ride the horse? No, wait.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Yes, yeah, that one. And then I was just like, oh, I don't know, because I think that's a song or something. And I was just like, I feel like it's too generic. So then we turned it into, wear the hat, ride the cowboy. But then you've got other ones like Slut for Smart, and then there's the acronym for a very dark romance one, and there's other just little funny ones that I just wanted to make it fun as well, instead of just the generic kind of thing that you would see maybe somewhere else. And not that there's nothing wrong with making candles, but that I have seen myself in other merch. So I just wanted to keep it, yeah, as unique as possible. But I do agonize over the names, but I'm glad everyone likes them.
So
So
how
I
do
just want
you
to keep them fun.
choose a scent to go with what's basically a trope? So cowboys, for instance. Is it, I mean, I wish our viewers could smell these perfumes. They're
Yeah,
amazing.
no.
So we're going to have to try and explain it to them. How do you bring
Um,
in the scent into like a cowboy romance, for instance? Is it
I
leather
found
and horse or?
um, cowboy was one of my easiest, because I'm half Canadian and have lived like most of my life in Canada. And then the last, I think, 2 years I was in Canada, I lived in a city called Calgary, and it's full of cowboys.
Mhm.
Um, so I just kind of was like, what would a cowboy smell like? Leather, maybe some whiskey. So it's really simple. It's just vanilla, leather, and whiskey is the cowboy one. So I really embodied, the nicer smells that I think a cowboy would smell like, instead of like hay or horses or something, which I don't think would blend. Even though there
How
is a
vanilla.
fragrance for pretty much everything, so you can get those fragrances. But I was like, no, I want to see where this goes. And it is still to this day my bestseller. So I'm glad it's good.
It's awesome. I
Yeah.
stock them as part of my Songbird book box.
Yeah.
So in that you get a copy of the book, you get a tumbler, you get your perfume, bookmarks, and a few other things. And And it's
Yeah,
just such
nice.
a beautiful complementary product to go with
Yeah,
those other
it really
products.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, and something so unique, like we were saying, the sense, smell is one of those just really invoking senses.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It
so I,
really is. And I am getting a lot of authors, which is amazing. Like, I still think this is a dream for me. Um, Buying wholesale and getting custom scents done for their PR boxes and book boxes and things like that. So, because it just is, it, yeah, like you said, it's just another element to the story.
yeah. Is there a particular one that you love to create more than the others?
Um, I love creating the sprays. I'm definitely a roll-on girly, and most of the perfumes will remain roll-on. I am introducing solids in the next, like solid perfumes in the next couple of months, but I do love creating the sprays because it's less fiddly.
Yeah.
Because I love the funnest thing about this job is setting up my workstation and making the perfume. So there's not really one that I prefer making over the other. Some are more fiddly because they have more ingredients, but the perfumes I actually like the big ones I mix in a big like vat thing, and then because the bottles are 30 mil compared to 10 mil with the rollers, that I like doing that because you sort of just all pour it and blend it and sit and then pour. So
Yeah.
whereas the perfumes I still hand make in smaller batches. So yeah, just a little bit more fiddly. Fun but fiddly.
So you don't get sick of any of the particular scents or anything like that. There's nothing that causes an allergic, smell or
No,
odor or anything.
there's some that I don't like. Like my Puck Bunny, which is my ice hockey romance one, I don't like that. Again, coming from Canada, I've been to many ice hockey games, so I just took that scent to what I experienced at the game, um, and I don't like that, but it's one of my top five bestsellers. So, yeah, there's some that I don't like, but have embodied what I think it would smell like. But
Yeah.
that's why, like, that's the beauty of this is smell is just so subjective. So everyone has a different sense of smell, and one person, like one of my favorites, is Wings and Shadows, but it's like my least like yeah, not many people buy that one. So, and that's my favorite. So it's yeah, it's just so funny, like how different it is to everyone
Absolutely.
or
Now,
everyone.
do you have any of them with you that you can show the camera? Because
Yeah,
I know that they do come, the little roll-ons. I'm just thinking I need to
yeah,
get an extra one and keep it in my bag. So when I'm
yeah.
like
Because I
sniffing one
can't
of
see
those, I can say,
myself. Can you
yeah. Okay,
see that?
lift it up a little bit more. There we go. So they're
Yeah.
just how many mils is in that?
So they're 10 mils, and the base is fractionated coconut, and it's just a roller. And
Mm.
yeah, you just roll it on. This is my Slut for Smart, one of my other bestsellers, which I love. And I was like, for this one, I was like, what is the sexiest fragrance that I can put in, like, Slut for Smart, like, can put in a bottle and or blend. And oh, I blended so many for this, so many. And I really wanted it to be fruity because all those, pheromone perfumes that you see, there's no such thing as a pheromone perfume. So yeah, so that's a myth. They're actually all the fragrances in those ones are fruit related. So pomegranate is like one of those scents that it's just like, yum. Rhubarb, red currant, watermelon, strawberry, things like that. Peach is another one. So I ended up blending it's just rhubarb and red currant in this one. So yeah, it's very. I wanted it to be very sexy, almost like a pheromone perfume, but that doesn't exist. So it's almost.
I love that. So you were talking author collaboration. So you're actually creating perfumes particularly specifically for authors who come to you? Yeah.
Yeah, so I have like a wholesale link, I guess, for shops, but I do have like an EOI. I guess you still call it wholesale because I it's the same price as my wholesale perfumes, but I do create perfumes for authors for their books or characters or overall series. Um, Pretty much everything that they kind of need, I can do,
Mhm.
which sounds really egotistical or cocky, but I've had many, many requests that I've always been able to come through. Touch wood. So
Yeah.
yeah, I do work with a lot of indie authors, which has been really, really amazing.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if you had a perfume that smelt like Zayden from Fourth Wing, how many people would be running out to buy
Yeah,
that?
I know. I would love to do that, but it's licensing as well. So I have put in a request for the licensing for Fourth Wing, but I have not heard back. So I think it's really hard to get it these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, my dream would be to do a perfume for each book for Akatar,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, Sarah J. Maas has changed her licensing, so all us little businesses will find it really, really hard to get licensing now.
I do think, as a writer, and most of the viewers and the listeners are writers here, but I think that this is such an interesting concept because
Hmm.
I'm all about not just, you don't just sell ebooks, you sell ebooks and print books and audio and special editions and
Hmm.
boxes. And this way, it's like being able to collaborate, especially with a local. I mean, you're local to me, you're literally here on the
Yeah.
Coast too, and being able to collaborate with other small businesses. And I love collaboration. That's
Hmm.
my absolute favorite thing to do, and being able to bring other people into the literary industry. You don't have to be a writer now. You don't have to be a
Yeah,
cover
that's
designer.
right.
You can be creative and make perfume or make these
Yeah.
other products. And I think it's so beautiful, and we can all just learn so much from each other, and even just
Hmm.
marketing ideas like this sort of thing. Did you do a perfume for AK Mulford, one of our
Yes.
mutual local friends? Yeah, tell us
I
about that one.
I did. I'm a bit spooky, so I love Halloween and um, all things spooky, I guess. And I did hers with K.E. Morrison, her series of Pumpkin Spice and Poltergeist, and then she has another one come out. I've got it on my shelf. I can't see. I'm terrible with names, so I forget the second book, but gosh, that series is so good. It's the Maple Hollow series that they co-write together, and it's just the first one was so good. The second one was so good. So I'm looking forward to the third one that comes out this Halloween or this fall. And yeah, I approached her because she's local for us as well on the Sunshine Coast. So I've met her and I just emailed and I'm like, can I please use this as my Christmas book box? Like I want to do like a Halloween for Christmas. And it was just because it was pumpkin spice, I could still embody that Christmas smell, but still have something fun like her book that is set in like a Halloween town. And yeah, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. That's still one of my favorite perfumes. It just smells like pumpkin spice and it's just
Yeah.
so cozy and yummy.
Oh, that's beautiful. And of course, you
Yeah.
being from Canada, that would be just amazing to be able to go and
Yeah, and
get
yeah,
that.
talking about like how smells, activate memories. Like the whole time I was smelling it, I was like, oh, I wish I was home for a white Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. So book boxes, that's a relatively new thing that you're getting into now?
Yes, so I have a subscription box. Because I love, like, I have a lot of signature perfumes that I create myself, and they've got bookish names and they're bookish related, or inspired by a genre. But one of my favorite things to do is to collaborate with authors and create a scent for like a custom scent for them and their book characters, series, whatever it may be. And I was like, this is my favorite part. And the subscription box was mainly for me, because I did want to reach out to, like, I don't want to say bigger authors because I feel like indie authors shouldn't be called like lesser than a trad published author or a bigger named indie author. Um, but of course, I've read some of these authors' books, and I've got three big authors coming up that are just my dream collabs, as well as some, other indie authors that I've also read. And it's one of those things because all the author collabs have come to me, asking me for the perfume, but this was something that I wanted to create for me, that I wanted to approach the authors and create a scent. So it's very fun, and it's quarterly for now. We'll see how it goes, and it's still small batched. And yeah, there's still openings, but I'm very, very close to having a wait list, which is super exciting. But yeah, for now it's quarterly, and there's some really, really amazing authors coming out that I'm super excited to reveal when it's reveal time. I
How
know.
long have you
It's
actually
so
had
hard to
Aura?
keep it in. Like, I want to say who they are, but I also love the reveal and the hype behind doing it.
Absolutely. How long have you actually had Aura and Alchemy going for now?
um, it'll be a year in May, so it's still only very new. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's taken off more than I ever anticipated. So everyone's just been so, I love this community. I love this community so much. Everyone's just been super welcoming, and yeah, so lovely. So
Yeah.
yeah, it has, and being the first person to really do this and have it as an exclusive perfumery, and the first bookish perfume subscription box has helped, because at the moment it is niche. So yeah, and I hope, of course there's space for anyone in this industry, but I hope to keep being the original one. And I do claim, I know I go on about it a lot, but I am Australia's first bookish perfumery. But I only say it because I'm just so proud, and I've never been like, I've loved my career. It's taken me so many places. I've done so much with it, but this is the one thing that I'm just like, oh, now I can, really work with it, and I really love it. So it feels good.
Absolutely. Do you have any advice to someone who might have an inkling of an idea that they want to create some sort of a bookish business? Do you have any kind of advice that you would give them in preparing for that?
um, don't rush into it. I feel I could have, I kind of rushed into it, and I think the reason being is because I was just so desperate to get back to work after being a stay-at-home mom for like 5 years. I really needed something for myself, so I really spent a lot of time, and I was like, this is my launch date. This is when the launch date needs to be, and I know that, brick and mortars are a little bit like that, but with online ones, you can have the flexibility. And if you do have the flexibility, just take your time, learn everything. And whilst I still think you're probably going to make some mistakes, we all do, and we all learn from them. um, don't rush it. Really get to know the community, get to know your business strategy, who's your target audience, design all your labels and boxes in a way that is set up for the long run, which I didn't do. Like, I'm not a designer, so I designed all the boxes and I got them printed and I got them, and I was like, I hate these, so I ended up getting someone to design them. So that's just money that I lost on the designs that like I created. So really, really get everything set up for the long haul, and yeah, just don't rush your opening date. Like, it's not going anywhere. And if even if you need to, like, if you've advertised a launch date but you're not ready, just take your time. And I think that's my number one advice that I've kind of learned from going into this. I could have given myself at least another month to prepare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess at the same point, we don't want to always be thinking about it and planning for it.
Yeah, that's
Something
it as
to
well.
yeah,
Yeah, there is kind of another side where it's just like, well, just open and learn from your mistakes. But yeah,
it's the
I do wish
expensive
I did give myself
mistakes.
grace. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Now, I found out about you through the Sunshine Coast Fiction Festival, which
Yes.
I just think is book signings are such an ideal place for
Mm,
a perfume bookish business like you
yeah.
have. And I know I was looking at all your merch and pictures of everything in your socials, which are hilarious. And
Thanks.
I was just like, yeah, but I need to smell it. I want to smell it.
Yeah.
So book signings were absolutely fantastic. And you did really, really well that weekend too.
Yeah. Oh, it was still the best. I go on about it to everyone. It was still the best book signing I've ever done. Like you and Tim just did so amazing. Like everything. Like I cannot fault one thing. So yeah, that was amazing. Like from for you and me. And but yes, it is definitely tough. Being somewhere, and even me, like because all my perfumes are obviously sold on my online store, and while retail sales are picking up, it's definitely not like my bread and butter. Like all my, I guess, business does come from author collaborations, which is amazing, because you do need to smell. And even me, I don't, unless I know the brand and I trust that the smell is going to be good. Say like Lush, for instance, like I would go onto their website and I would buy something without smelling. So it would be good to get to that point where you trust when I release something that it's going to smell good. But even now, if a new company comes out, I still want to smell it and know it. So that's why I have locked myself in for many, many events. Because, yeah, when
Absolutely.
people smell it, it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for speaking to me today, Shara. I'm sure you've inspired other people who, like I said, maybe aren't, you know, quite ready to write a novel or anything like that yet, but
Yeah.
want to do something in this beautiful, creative books and novels stage that we're at in this community. So, thank you so much for being an inspiration, for being this incredible businesswoman that you are. And I just know you're going to keep going strength to strength, and I can't wait to see where it takes you. What I find so inspiring about Shara's journey is that it really expands the definition of what it means to be part of the book world. It's not one path, it's not one identity. It's this beautifully creative ecosystem where there is space for so many different kinds of ideas, talents, and passions. And maybe the biggest takeaway here is this: you don't have to force yourself into a box that doesn't quite fit. Whether you're a writer, a reader, or someone who simply loves stories, there are so many ways to build something meaningful in this space. So, I'd love to know, what did this episode spark for you? Did it get your wheels turning? Did it open up a new possibility you hadn't considered before? Come and tell me. I always love hearing what resonates with you. And if you're ready to explore your own creative ideas, whether that's writing your novel or building something alongside it, you can find more resources, support, and inspiration over at serenadepublishing.com. I'll see you next week for another episode of the Write Podcast. Thanks so much for listening to the Write Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean the world if you'd leave a review and share the show with your writer friends. It helps more creatives find their way to us. And don't forget to follow Serenade Publishing on Instagram and TikTok for more writing tips, publishing advice, and exciting events to keep you inspired. Keep writing, keep dreaming, and know that I'm here to support you every word of the way.